Hey everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to use Google's Gemini AI API with Java and Spring Boot. So first I will be showing you how to use this with plain Java and then integrate that code into Spring Boot. So the prerequisite for this video is you must have IntelliJ IDEA as well as Java installed on your system. If you don't have both, you can just click on the card that is appearing on top. I've done an entire tutorial on it. So first, just Google AI Studio and click on the first link aistudio.google.com and make sure that you are signing in with your Google account. And here to the top you will be having the documentation. Select it, and in the documentation, if you go to overview, as you can see here we will be having some sample code, and here we are having the code for Java. So basically we can make use of this. And apart from this, another important thing is the library that we are going to use. For that, here we are having the libraries to the left. Open it in a new tab. This will basically have all the updated information about the libraries that are currently in use. So we are having Python, JavaScript, Go and Java. So for Java, this is going to be the Maven dependency that we are going to use. So the code, everything is set up. Now we need to just create our Java project. So for that, just open your IntelliJ IDEA, select new project. So I will just name it as Gemini API, and the build system is going to be of type Maven, and select the Java JDK version of your choice and just click on create. And we have got the default boilerplate code over here. So now let's just go and copy the code from the documentation. So first let's start with adding the dependencies. So we can just copy this and go to pom.xml and just paste it below properties. Once you are done pasting the dependency, we need to build it. So for that, we are having this option over here which says sync Maven changes. This will automatically appear after you make any changes in the pom.xml file. So just click it. This will basically add this particular dependency, and after that you won't be having this red color error appearing. So that's it, the error has gone now. And now let's just go and copy paste the code also. Before that, if you want to get more details into this, here we are having the GitHub repository for that, Java Gen AI. So if you open it, here you will be having some sample code and instructions how to use this. So you can just check this code also. So for now, let's just go to the documentation. So this is the void main function. So at the moment we can copy this, go here and just remove the system.out and the for loop and paste it over here. So we need to import these things. So if you hover, click on import class, hover and select import class. Next important thing is we need to add our Gemini AI API key. So now to add the Google AI API key, there are two ways. One is directly in the code, which is not recommended. You can just use it for testing purposes like this. We need to just modify the client code. And the second method is the recommended one, which is adding the API key with this particular key as Google API key in the environment variable. So we're going to do this. So first let's get the API key. So for that, again go back to Google AI Studio. To the top you are having get API key, select it and create API key, and click here, choose your project name, create API key in existing project and copy it. If you want to delete it, you can delete it, that's totally up to you. Now go to your IntelliJ IDEA, and to the top we are having current file, click it, edit configuration plus application, and here click on this and select the main class and select OK. Here we are having environment variables, click on this, put a plus, paste the key in the value, and now go to GitHub. Here we are having Google API key. You can just copy and paste it. So this will automatically be picked up. Be careful that you don't give any spaces over here, it may throw errors. Click on OK and apply and OK. So that's basically the code. Here we are specifying our text prompt, and here the model is getting specified, and we are getting the response over here which is of type generate content response, and we are just consoling the text from the response. In case if you want to see what are the other metadata that is getting printed, you can just print the response alone. So now let's run this code and see if it works. run main. So I have got the response over here, the exact answer for our question. Give some words to explain how AI works. So this code works perfectly fine, and now we can easily convert this code to our Spring Boot application. Basically we will be getting the prompt from Postman, and in turn we will be returning the response. Exact same code, just we will be adding the REST controller and a service file. So now let's begin by creating a Spring Boot project. So for that, just Google Spring Initializer, click on the first link. So let me just go with the default choices over here. The project should be Maven, Java is fine, Spring Boot version is fine, and I don't want to change the name or over here anything. Java 21 is also fine. The main change comes in the dependencies. So we need to click here, and we need to add Spring Web, which is used to create our REST and service endpoints. So Spring Web is needed, and next one is going to be Lombok, to avoid the boilerplate code. So I would recommend you to go with these two things. And apart from that, we are having a third dependency, which is Google's GenAI one, to connect with our Gemini API. Just click on generate. This will be getting downloaded as a zip file. So go to downloads and extract the files here. That's it. Now just open this particular folder in IntelliJ, choose the folder and click on OK, and open this in a new tab, because we can easily copy the old code to it. So for this we will be requiring 3 files. So I just want to keep it more organized. One is configuration, another one is the controller, and the next one is the service file. Just expand source main Java, and here we are having our main application, right? You can just right click on it and select new package. So it's going to be config, and right click new. Next one is going to be the controller, and final one is going to be the service. So first let's begin with the config code. We can simply avoid using the config and service. If it's going to be just for a demo, we can literally add the entire code inside controller itself. But in case if you're going to use this application in a production environment, you don't have to repeat the entire boilerplate code of adding the client over there. So for that we can just have a separate config file as well as the folder, and we can specify our necessities for Gemini API. So just go here and right click new Java class. Let's name it as Gemini config and hit enter. So we'll be having the class created. First step is we need to have the configuration annotation to indicate our Spring Boot that this is a configuration class. And now I would recommend you to add the Gemini dependency, because we are going to use some code from it. So for that, again go to the documentation or the libraries over here. You can just copy this and go to pom.xml. Here we're already having the dependencies, so you can just go here and paste it. So we can just remove this extra dependencies tag and just run this sync maven changes. Yep, that is done. We are good now. Now go to Gemini config, and we need to create a function. So it's going to be public client. So this needs to come from Google GenAI. Okay, be careful when importing, and it's going to be Gemini client. We can have it like this, and next thing is return new client. Yeah, so basically just have this code, and that's pretty much it with the config one. Next, let's go with the service file. So for that, go to the service folder, right click new Java class. Let's name it as Gemini service, and same thing, we have to have here the service annotation, and let's just go and create our file. So it's going to be public string. Let me have it as ask Gemini, and the input is going to be a prompt. So it's going to be string prompt. So we'll be getting this prompt from Postman. So let me just have this, and inside this only we will be calling our Gemini API model. So for that we need the configuration client. So it's going to be private final client from GenAI, and we can just name it as client like this, and it will throw you an error saying client might not have been initialized. For this, just go to the class, and have the required aux constructor. So that's the use of Lombok dependency that we added. No need to have any boilerplate code. So now inside this we need to just make use of this prompt. So for that we can just go to our previous Java code. So we are having this function, right? We can literally copy all these and go again and paste it. So two changes we need to make over here. The first one is we need to just remove this hard coded text, and rather than that we can have here prompt. In case if you have any config, you can pass that here also, that's up to you. And next we are having the client, the variable naming is fine. And final thing is, rather than system.out print, we can just return this. So it's going to be return. Yep. So now we won't be having any errors. This code is taken care of. And final thing is we need to have our controller. So for that, go to your controller folder, right click, new Java class. You can just have it as Gemini controller. So let's start with the annotation. It's going to be at rest controller, and we can have a global request mapping. So it's going to be at request mapping, and the naming is going to be /API/Gemini. I'm fine with that. And let's just define a function and then get our service variable. So it's going to be public. The return type is going to be string because we are going to return the string response. And let's just have it as ask Gemini API, something like this. And here also the input is going to be a string prompt, open curly brackets. And we need to also have here another annotation because we will be getting this from request body. So from the Postman, right, we'll be having this, we'll be sending like this. So for that, here inside the params we need to have the request body annotation, and I'm just going to send a single key prompt, its own key and value, so that I'm just directly having it as string prompt. In case if you are going to pass any other values over here like multiple keys, it's better that you have here a model defined. So I'm good with this. And final thing, we need to have the service. So it's going to be private final. We named it as Gemini service. So it's going to be Gemini service over here. And the same error it's throwing might not have been initialized. So for that we can just go here to the class. We'll be just having the required aux constructor. The error goes, and inside it we're going to call our function. It's going to be return Gemini service dot ask Gemini. That's our function, and pass the parameter prompt inside it. And final thing here is we need to add the get mapping for our controller function. So just come here. It's going to be at get mapping. The reason why we are putting get is because we're just going to fetch the data. We are not going to post anything. So we can just have the path as /ask. And most important thing is we need to also add the API key, that is in the environment variable. So for that, just go here and edit configuration in our previous Java code. Just copy the API key fully like this and go here, current file, edit configuration, click on plus application, the same steps, main class, select this, click on OK, and just paste the API key. If you go to this view, we'll be having this. Click on apply and OK everywhere and just run it. So we have got an error over here which says parameter 0 of constructor required a bean of type. So to solve this, just go inside our Gemini config file, and here we will be having the Gemini client function, right? Go here and add the bean annotation, and this will solve the issue. Now again rerun it. So this time, as you can see, I'm not getting any errors and the application has started on the port 8080. So now just go to Postman, and here first thing is make sure that here you're having the operation as get, and next type this http://localhost 8080, and next thing is we need to copy the path. So here we are having this, paste it, and after that we need to also have the get mapping path which is /ask. Put that here also, that's fine. Go to body, raw, text, switch it to JSON, and here we need to add our prompt like this. So we can just have it and just add a prompt of your choice and hit send. and as you can see, we have got the response essay on earth 10 lines. So I've got 10 lines of the essay. So that's beautifully done, and that's the video, guys. Do check the playlist of my channel. Done a lot of videos in programming, Gemini AI, OpenAI APIs, and AI tools in general. Subscribe me. Thanks for watching.